ブレイク限界。ゴーオンゴールド。
キラキラ世界。ゴーオンシルバー。テイクオフ。ゴーオンウィング。
That's right. This series gives us not one, but two 6th Rangers. This is Hiroto and Miyu, a pair of siblings who discovered Triptor and Jetras here on Human World, who in turn brought them to Machine World to teach them how to use their powers. Unfortunately, it's that training that makes them look down on Sosuke's team, insisting that they are Go-On Wings, not Go-Ongers. However, the more interaction between the two groups becomes more and more frequent, starting with Grand Prix 20, Sibling Battle, we meet the engine who taught Hiroto and Miyu, Jumbo Whale. And of course, Triptor, Jetras, and Jumbo Whale can combine to form another robot, Seikuo. Jumbo Whale is a little more friendly towards Sosuke's team, trying to teach them the same way he did to Hiroto and Miyu, which comes into play in Grand Prix 22, Last Wish. Here Mechimedes is seemingly ousted by that Gaiark, Yokostein even stabs him with his staff, and the Go-Ongers find him dying. Here Mechimedes asks for a final race against Hiroto before he dies, but this turns out to be a trap, as the island they ended up on has natural lightning storms, leaving the wings at the mercy of Mechimedes' monster. The Go-Ongers unwittingly come to the rescue, not knowing it was a trap, which is exactly what Jumbo Whale was trying to show the wings.
あんな無茶苦茶な奴らに救われたとはな。どうだ、ヒロト。
教官、わかりましたよ。ゴーオンジャーは先のことなど見ようともしない。でも、それが奴らの強さだ。
ボエ
最初から教官はそう思っていた。奴らは何も警戒せずこの島に踏み込む。先を読んだりしないからこそ罠にもかからず。
その時の思いだけで動いた結果、小賢しく先を読んだせいで逆に罠に落ちた私たちを助けた。時にはあんな鈍感な力こそが強い時もある。
教官、だからあなたは奴らを見込んで。
ああ。
And with newfound camaraderie, the team brings all 9 engines together to form Engino G9 and defeats Mechimedes' monster. This leads to his villainous breakdown in Grand Prix 23, Berserk Hirameki. Mechimedes thinks back to his origin, a lowly Gaiark scientist who was accomplishing nothing in his life, and had even considered killing Yokostein and taking his place, until Yokostein made him his second-in-command, thus starting Mechimedes' devotion to his boss. Mechimedes fills his body with 100 times the normal amount of Bikiririum, which turns him into a rampaging monster. Hiroto isn't able to match his movements during the battle, but thankfully Sosuke is pretty random himself, and is able to bring him down once and for all. The Go-Ongers naturally take Mechimedes' defeat well. Yokostein doesn't.
どうして死んでしまったの
ヨコスタイン、元気を出すでおじゃるよ。
奴のことは良き思い出にして新しい一歩を踏み出すぞよ。
ほっといてほしいのね。
Yes, you are seeing this. Yokostein is mourning the loss of a subordinate. Usually the main villains in these shows treat their followers like crap. This is a nice change of pace, I must say. So after a few more episodes, Yokostein sends a monster into the mountains to find Horunderthal, an ancient Gaiark responsible for the destruction of the dinosaurs. So that is now the third explanation for what happened to the dinosaurs in Super Sentai. Let's see, first they were killed off by the main villain of Zyuranger, and then they were sent to an alternate dimension where they continued to evolve, and now Horunderthal is responsible. Make up your mind! As for the Go-Ongers, they meet a family in the mountains looking for a golden dragon, and they decide to help out. However, the golden dragon appears to be an engine, which is confirmed in Grand Prix 33, Primitive Engines. Sosuke and Speeder run into the 3 engines, Kishamoth, T-Line, and Keyline, the ancestors of the modern-day engines. At first they don't like humans, but Speedor's pleas and Sosuke charging at a giant monster on his own, yeah, sorry Sosuke, but only Carter can get away with that, convince the ancestor engines to join the Go-Ongers, and they even show off their combined robot form, Kirei-Zuk, the design of which looks familiar to me for some reason. Also, maybe it's just me, but I think Kirei-Zuk is very happy to see you. Yokostein is understandably distraught that they went looking for Horunderthal and found the ancestor engine instead, so much so that he himself goes digging through the mountains like a madman looking for the ancient Gaiark. And he finds him. In Grand Prix 35, the engines bond, the ancestor engines explain what happened 65 million years ago.
で分かったのが6500万年前ホロンデルタールの侵略を止めるためにやってきたご先祖たちは激戦の末なんと自分たちごと奴を化石化封印したんばりんすごいよバルバル
I don't know why, but the sight of 3 trains ramming into a giant robot is hilarious to me. They confront Heronderthal, but this time Yoko Stein has upgraded his abilities to turn the ancestor engines against the others. Fortunately, the brainwashing gets undone, and then one of the most awesome things in the history of things happens. Go-Onger started the trend of what is known as clusterfuck robots, as you can see here. But I don't care. It's awesome. I always want to see as many of these things come together as possible, so I am not complaining in the slightest. Now, before we continue on with the series, we need to discuss a certain crossover. Both Super Sentai and Power Rangers have had crossovers between the current year's team and the previous year's team for quite a while. Power Rangers would air these team-ups during the show's run, while Sentai would release them on DVD. At least until here, the first crossover released in theaters in Japan, where the Go-Ongers team up with the previous year's team. How do I describe Geki Ranger to those unfamiliar with it? I know!
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening.
I placed the crossover here before the end of Grand Prix 35 because of Sosuke, Yoko Stein, and NG no G12's presence. Mainly because of how Grand Prix 35 ended, which ended like this.
G12 の戦闘負荷でいや違うあの時
スキル
嘘
そんなまさか
Yeah. We pick up in Grand Prix 36, Sosuke into Eternity. The Go-Ongers are understandably upset over the fact that Sosuke is dead. Yoko Stein doesn't give them the chance to mourn, however, as he has upgraded himself with Heronderthal's power to take away the Go-Ongers' ability to morph and starts to devastate much of the city. However, the Go-Ongers continue on despite losing Sosuke and their powers, and even manage to stab Yoko Stein with his own staff. They reclaim their ability to morph and bring him down with NG no G12. Yoko Stein survives, but he gets confronted by the revived Sosuke, who was brought back by the others' determination to fight on. Oh yes, Sosuke came back to life because his teammates didn't give up.
15 feet.
If you had a partner, it wouldn't be that high. Truck, truck?
Highly doubt that, lady.
Now you can understand why I put the Geki Ranger crossover where I did. Things start looking up for the Go-Ongers for a while, and less so for Kitaneus and Kekareshiya. Without Yoko Stein, they seem to be struggling, needing outside help, which they eventually get in Grand Prix 43, Year-End's Cleaning. They get a new ally in the form of the Gaiark Cleaning Minister, Kirei-Zuk. You know, that's not fair. I can pronounce Hiramekimedes just fine, but the guy with a much shorter name is the one I struggle with. So the Cleaning Minister, in quite a sense of irony for the Gaiark, arrives to clean human world of its heroes, bringing down the engines and beating down the Go-Ongers fairly easily. He next plans to clean the world of his inhabitants, And by clean, I mean blow the shit out of everyone. And to top it all off, he's doing this on Christmas Eve. That's villainy if I ever saw it. However, the Go-Ongers get their second win as well as a pep talk from Japanese Santa. No, really, the Go-Ongers meet Japanese Santa. Did I mention this show is kinda weird? They battle the Clean Minister, throwing everything they have at him, but he manages to survive by hiding in his bottomless trash can, extending the battle to Grand Prix 34, Protect the Holy Knight. The Go-Ongers end up fighting the Clean Minister in giant form, and yes, even the individual giant robots get a roll call. They defeat the Clean Minister for good, but they didn't get rid of his bottomless trash can, and they end up paying for that in Grand Prix 47, Remodeled Ministry, when a new face shows up at the Gaiark base.